Hi, I'm Tim Marshall. Welcome to the R&B Showcase radio show and television show, coming at you live from the Tri-Jam Studios right here in Woodbury, New Jersey. We have a special guest coming up. Here's two of his CDs, and actually he is a multi-instrumentalist, band leader, recording artist, multiple productions, and he's a Latin recording artist, and he has several different groups that he performs with, including the Cintron Band. We're going to welcome our special guest, Edgardo Cintron, to the R&B Showcase. How you doing today?
Hi, Tim. How you doing? Pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to have you here with us. Finally got you here on the show, huh?
I know.
It's some time. We've been trying to get you for a little while, so I'm glad that we got you here, and you found time in your schedule to join us here in the studio.
I'm happy to be here.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Now, we're going to ask you to take us back a little bit. We've been talking here off the air, but I want to talk a little bit about how you got started with your productions, how you got started in music.
Well, in music, I was 13 years old when I started performing with my dad's band back in the day. Mm-hmm. Doing Latin clubs here and there, Philadelphia, Long Branch, playing timbales. Actually worked at Great Adventure all summer just to buy my first timbales. Mm-hmm. And I worked with him. And then out of high school, 17, graduated, went in the Army for a few years, came back and started performing again with a band called Certified Gold, doing like the Atlantic City, Philadelphia. Then finally I put my band together. It was called Tiempo 90 back then. Mm-hmm. And I did Atlantic City, Philly. We were at the hotel in Marriott in City Line Avenue. Mm-hmm. We were there for 2 years on Thursdays, and it would get packed. I had great band, violinists and all that. But then later on, I kept on doing that band. And one time I saw Rocco, and I said, would you like to put together something with me? Maybe I need a sponsor for my band. And Rocco came to me and said, well, why don't we use your name and we call it Cintron? And then we started putting the music together with Jimmy Lopez and him and me. And that's where we came up with Suavecito, Hey There Lonely Girl. We wrote Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Other than that, from there, the production came out so well. I had music already recorded because I was recording with Naxos of America and DBK. And then I used some of those songs for the first album, Absolutely. So we did that. And Suavecito was born. Mm-hmm. And we had, somebody looking out for us, going out there trying to find, money. Mm-hmm. We need money for production.
Absolutely.
So we met a guy named Wes White that backed us, helped pay for the video for Suavecito. Mm-hmm. Helped us we got on Universal Records. Okay. And then we did the video in Florida. Okay. And it's got 1.8 million views right now. Yes. We did that, and then we did another album. I think we got about 7 albums, CDs now, CDs of Cintron. Right.
Any vinyls though? You talk about CDs. Any vinyls?
We could have them. I mean, they send us stuff to if we want to do it in vinyl. Right. When we started, it was already CDs.
Okay. Yeah. Now, when was this? When did that first album come out for Cintron?
2001.
2001. Okay.
Yeah. 2001. And then after that, we started doing different CDs, and our first gig was at the inaugural for Bush. Wow. His inaugural was our first gig. We were the first Latin band to play for Governor McGreevy, and we did a live CD there. Okay. We have a live CD from that gig because his wife was Puerto Rican. So she wanted some Latin music, so we did the gig, and we had like a crossover thing. Lonely Girl. We even did Latin jazz, Song for My Father, and stuff like that.
So how did it feel to perform at the White House, though?
It was great. Yeah. It was amazing. Funny thing, I forgot my drums in my car. We had a bus that took us up, and in the middle of West, oh my God, I forgot my drums. And Rock was like, "You kidding me?" I said, "No, I forgot." And we were searching. There was another band, so they lent me some toms, and I made some timbales out of them, and we got through the gig. But it was fun, an experience to do that. And, we've done a lot of things. We did the San Thomas Jazz Festival and Bahamas Jazz Festival. We've done a lot of things and recording and had a lot of fun, And from there, when Rocco retired, I kept the band going.
Now, was Rocco your first lead singer for your band?
Yeah, we became partners for the band, and then we had JR, Tony Perez, Bobby DePersia, and Anthony. I can't say his last name. He would hate me because I could never say it back then.
Who was the tenor singer? You had a somebody did high tenor.
That was JR.
Oh, JR. Okay.
JR. He did all the high kind of things going on. He's on my new CD, by the way, too.
Now, is he doing What You See, What You Get? Does he do the high parts on there?
Yeah. Okay. And Rocco does the lead.
Okay.
And we did some nice stuff on that CD for my brother, the All-Star Band.
Okay.
So,
Now, is that a different band from Cintron? You have a Cintron band, then you have an all-star band?
That was Cintron, but mostly we brought back other cats that were in the band that were there and then left and came back, and then we just put it all together, and I put the CD together because, I wanted to have a CD for my brother. He always was jealous that I had CDs, and his name, where's my picture? I said, well, it's me. It's my CD. So I said, something I wanted to do for him, and I got it done. And his picture's on the front cover, and I know he's looking down saying thank you.
That's the CD we have here.
Yeah, 2 CDs. And there was some good stuff on there. He's actually on like I told you, he's actually on the CD because we had some samples from him playing, so we used them on some of the songs. And we have a song called Peachy's Dream on there. That's really cool, Latin jazz thing that we did. But it was fun doing that, and a tribute to my brother,
You backed a lot of different artists. You worked with Jatan over the years.
Yes.
And Angela DePersia.
Yes.
Who were some of the other people that you worked with? You backed a lot of people.
Well, I worked with, Terrence Blatcher.
Okay.
I worked with Jeff Lorber.
Wow.
Chuck Loeb.
Wow.
He passed away. Nicholas Cleon. I worked with him in the studio with Bobby Lyle. And I think it was Bobby Lyle and Terrence Blanchard. That's the one I did. It was called Studio Jams, and I did a lot of those. And, I worked with the Funk Brothers.
Okay.
First tour.
Tell us about that tour, man. How did that go?
It was a fun tour. We practiced in Philly. Had about 6, 7 tour buses. We had a big band and the Funk Brothers. Maxie Priest, Darlene Love, Bootsy Collins, the Ingram, Johnny Ingram, and Carla Benson, Mike Pedersen.
Wow.
I mean, the band was killing. Demetrius Pappas. But we had a good time. That was we did 15 cities, first tour, and it was fun. Toronto, California. But the band was killing, and they were amazing, those guys. It was something for me. It was history for me to be able to play with them.
That's a blessing, really. The Motown greats,
Yeah. I've done a lot of work. I mean, the Average White Band I've worked with in the studio, and I brought them to a thing I did at Kennedy High School in Willingboro. There was
my old high school, that.
That's my high school.
Yes, I graduated in 81.
75.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I'm older than you.
All right.
But it was funny because I brought them there for this summer arts program, and they were at the Claridge performing. So we took limos and picked them up, and they came and played for the kids and talked. It was amazing.
Wow.
The Average White Band there,
Yeah, good band. Yes.
Yeah. So I've done a lot of things, man. I'm blessed to be able to do that and work with different people and have fun doing it. And touring and doing certain gigs. I love playing out. And I love being in front of people. My thing is to keep the people happy and keep them interested in what we're doing on stage. Nothing boring. Just go for it and play. Have some fun. I've seen pictures of me jumping up and down and saying, wow, I don't even remember that. Exit Zero Jazz Festival. So
you're a percussionist, right?
Yeah, percussion.
Now, what other instruments? What were the instruments that you play?
Well, I played a little guitar back in the day. I wanted trombone. I played French horn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, when I was
instrument.
Yeah, French horn. When I was young, there was a girl playing first French horn in school, and I said, "Oh my God, I want to be next to her." So I took French horn just to be next to her. It was had fun, but but mostly percussion. My mom said I would be a percussionist because I used to bang on the table all the time, and it came natural. So recorded a lot of stuff with a lot of people. I just did some things for Tom Emmy, for the bass player of Bob Marley's band, his brother. We did a tribute to him that should be coming out, and I did a thing with the keyboard player from oh my God, I can't think of. He's a famous cat. My 60-year-old brain can't think right now. But I've been doing some recordings for him for some famous guys.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Now, speaking of the jazz festival, my mother, Miss Marilyn Marshall, was performing on one of those jazz festivals along with you and Spiral Gyro.
Yeah.
Was that 2008, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were all on that show together. I
remember
emceed that show with, I think it was Gene Turpak was the co-MC on that show.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I brought them. I think I got them to come to Spiral Gyro.
Right.
Because I was working for the Recreation Center at that time.
Okay.
And I brought Jeff Lorber there.
Okay.
I got to work with him on stage there. But I remember we had our energy drink there.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah,
the big balloon. And the guy from Spiral Gyro said to me, "I've been around for 20-something years, and I ain't got no drink named after me." Yeah.
Yeah. So, how many of those jazz festivals did you do? I mean, you were on the Willowboro
a lot because I was born. I was born in Kansas, but I went to high school there, so I was Willowboro born. They say, and I've done last year. I did the Santana thing. It was broadcasted, but it wasn't live. But I've done I'd say about 10 or 15 of them.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. And it's always a pleasure to play Willowboro.
That's hometown, so
Yeah, you got to support great musicians out of Willowboro.
Oh, absolutely.
Right now the record guy the record company I signed with, ROL, Dennis James, we went to high school together.
Oh, wow.
And he's my drummer in the band I'm doing. Bon Appetit Band, I call it, for the new CD.
All right. That's a solo project of yours, right?
Yeah, I've always wanted to do a smooth jazz CD. So I took some songs I really like and had some written, and I said, let's do it. So I have Carl Cox on there, Michael Pedersen, Andrew New, Dennis James, Bob Farina. I mean, I got a lot of players.
You got Mike Ian? Mike Ian?
Yeah, Mike is playing, matter of fact, Oasis, that's playing a lot on a certain station. And he's playing lead guitar, and he's playing drums on it.
Talented guy.
He played drums and guitar on it.
I've known Mike for years.
And he did a Christian song I did. I redid a Christian song called I Will Be Here from Stephen Chapman. And I called I Will Be Here, and he played guitar on that with Bill Murray on soprano, playing soprano. But, I kind of took a lot of things, the Sound of Philly, Backstabbers. I took some funky stuff like No Scrubs and redid a thing there with my daughter singing and Andrew New and a Santana kind of guitar in it. So I changed it up. And
so you do all your own arrangements and everything, right?
Yeah. A lot of arrangement. I had
Very
Randy.
creative.
Randy Chick helped me with a lot. Randy Chick, keyboard. He's playing a lot on the record. He did a lot of production. And if you hear People Get Ready, he does the piano lead on that. It's crazy. I mean, with the Ingram brothers singing. And that's a pretty cool song. But, I've been doing that. Bob James, that's who it was. Right. Bob James. That's who I played with on the video with Tom Emmy.
You mentioned the sound of Philadelphia. I'm going to ask you, what was it like working with Soul Survivors, Charlie and Richie? Great.
Beautiful people. And Charlie, we really miss him. And, so kind. They got to perform with us at the World Cafe. We were introducing a new flavor of the energy drink, and they came up and sang Expressway. And they did another song on one of the albums too. Lover to Me, it's called. Okay. I think it's called Lover to Me. Yeah. But amazing cats. I mean, really beautiful people, and
you just lost one of the members of the band.
Yes. Well, Charlie.
Yeah.
Charlie. But Richie's still out there playing. Right. He did a thing in Philly last year on the riverfront. They had a bunch of bands and they performed.
Was it Soul Survivors?
Yeah, Soul Survivor. He's still doing it. Right. Yeah, yeah. But it was good guys, man. We got to meet. And I've had with Cintron. I had a lot of good players that performed with us. Steve. What's his name? Mr. Walsh on trumpet. He used to play with Tito Puente. A trumpet player that played the solo on Suavecito. Okay. John Walsh. And he played on Lonely Girl. And I use him once in a while in Atlantic City or in festivals. Bring him down, and he plays trumpet with us. He did the Clifford Brown with us a couple of years ago. Yeah.
Now, Suavecito, that was a Billboard chart hit, wasn't it?
Yeah, that one did really well. I mean, even when me and Rocco went to L.A. to do some interviews and stuff, and we get into studio, and people from the Malo Band and the other band that's out there, they said that our version was the best version that they've ever heard. That somebody
that's my favorite version of the song.
Yeah, they said it Malo. I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool.
That's a compliment. Yes.
Yeah. I've always wanted to try to get George Santana out, but he passed away. I wanted to get him out there for one of the festivals to play that with us, but he ended up passing, so that didn't happen. But one of my ideas. I'm always thinking.
No, hey, that's what's all that creativity, It never leaves you, You do a lot of the songwriting and all that stuff too, right?
Yeah, I have people arrange, but then I take it and do it the way I like it. Some things I change, some things I don't. Some things, I try to make it what I want, and I take the basics. Right. I'll tell them this is how we're going to do this. I do some pre-productions with some people where we get the instruments that are fake, but then we take them off and put the real. And we could change up some things, put the real bass, put the real drums, and do it that way. Endings, changing endings, adding stuff. I mean, I've added stuff to some certain things that I thought tasty. This album that I got, this new one, Bon Appetit, is really good.
Now, what studio are you using for this production? It's
Roosevelt Walker.
Okay.
Yeah, he has a studio in his home in Malaga.
Oh, okay.
And it's a really good studio. He uses what's it called? I forget the name of it, but he does the engineering. But he knows his stuff, man. He'll sit on a song and listen to it, and he'll come to me and say, "Hey, I don't like this. We should do this." And I listen. I say, "Well, either I say yes or I say no." But it's my decision at the end.
It was your band.
Yeah, but we've came up with did really well, man, with this album. We the last part of the CD. I mean, when I heard the last masters, and we had to do some things because when Mike Tarsia, God bless him, passed away, he did 9 songs. We had talked to him the night before. We were sending the last 6 to him. And then we found out he passed away the next day. We had talked to him that night. So Jay Levin has a studio, Turtle Studios, text me and say, "Hey, I know what happened, and I know it's going to be hard, but I'm willing to give up my studio to do your last tunes and master them for you in Mike's honor." I said, "Oh my God, for real?" He didn't charge me. He took them and redid them, and did the last 6, and then even put it all together and did all the timing and everything and made sure everything was on there where it came up on the radio. And it was, really, really cool of him doing that. And he said, "We're going to do this for Mike because I know he would want it done." So we got that done. Yeah.
How many albums do you have out?
Well, I have the new one, Bon Appetit, my first smooth jazz. I had a CD out last year, Cintron All Over the World. Okay. And that's all the great songs that I love, that we did it throughout the years. Donna Lee and a lot of stuff. I think there's about 18 songs on that CD. Wow. And I did that and my brother's CD. And then Cintron, I'd say about 7 or 8. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And the Back in the Day album was is that Suavecita? What was Suavecita was on?
Well, it was on Absolute, but then it came back out on Back in the Day because that's Universal.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we got the Universal really put us out there and got us out to a lot of stations around the world.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty cool.
That's great.
You know, I'm working on something for Cintron now.
Mm-hmm.
Watermelon Man. I'm doing that when I'm doing a version of that and some other stuff. Just like maybe a 4-song CD that's going to come out probably next year.
How many different bands do you have? I know you have quite a number of different bands.
Well, I had Cintron, my tribute to Santana Inca band. And when I say tribute, I tribute to music. I don't want to look like Santana or have anybody that looks like him.
Right.
We tribute the music that he did, you know, and play it like them. And we sound. You close your eyes, you'd be, oh my God, it's like the band's there. That and well, now Bon Appetit. You know, I got this band now. Our first gig is in Lock Haven.
Okay.
LH Jazz Festival, August 13th.
Okay.
And the release party for this CD is April 19th at Adelphia's.
That's for the Bon Appetit.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, we're doing about 6 songs. Bringing some of the people that played on it. Lewis Taylor is going to be playing sax. Mike Ian, guitar.
Okay.
Again, I'm bringing my bass player, Robert Cabana, bass.
Oh, great. Okay.
Dennis James, Tim Ingram, Adriana Orsini, she's singing. So we're doing some of the stuff that's out and some other stuff. So it should be fun, you know, to get everybody out there and see the band perform it for the first time live. You know, so that's going to be fun.
That's great. And who's going to be singing that night? I know you have
Best
of My Love, right?
Yeah, Best of My Love. It's background. So Adriana is going to be singing it. I have another singer. I'm waiting on the okay first for the backgrounds, and then Lewis will play the lead on that one. She's going to sing a song called Make It Real.
Okay.
By the Jets, I did.
That's a beautiful song, yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I put a little spice on it, a little rice and beans on top of it.
All right.
Yeah, with the trombone
Love
solo.
them rice and beans, bro.
Yeah. With Don Collins played the solo, and at the end I put like this mambo thing going on, and it just takes off. And it's just surprising the song because you would think it's so pretty. And I said, yeah, I want to try this. So, you know, these are things I come up in the studio with, and I say, oh, let's try this. It came out pretty cool. So.
Now you also have a foundation, don't you, that you work with?
Well, I did education? It. Right now I haven't done much because I've been so busy with the CD. I want to get back to that.
Right.
And I was waiting, you know, I retired in a couple of years working.
Okay.
And that's where I'm going to put my whole heart into it.
Right.
And I still have it. It's just been so busy working. You know, I'm a technician too for lab.
Okay.
So I do that.
Wow.
And I'm doing that and playing and, you know, trying. I used to tour a lot, but, you know, when my daughters were born, I didn't want to go away a lot.
What were some of the places that you toured? You toured all over.
Man. Ireland.
Wow.
My God, I've been to Ireland and been to California, Toronto, Mexico, Bahamas, Tortora, my God, Puerto Rico.
Okay.
A lot of islands. Did a lot of islands, you know, back in the day. I used to be really big in San Thomas. My first CD, Música Caliente, was done at Sigma. And when it came out, for some reason, it hit San Thomas. And it was backed by Naxos of America. They're major out of Germany. They're a classical company, but they did jazz.
Okay.
And I was called to play there 3 times, and we did a stadium with all the Calypso bands. It was like the big Calypso weekend, and we got to play stuff from my CD, Música Caliente. And it was pretty cool because they flew us out there, and we're riding in the van going to the hotel, and my brother goes to me, look at the pole. I said, why? He says, your face is it's all over the pole. Pictures of my face from the CD. I was a big hit there. I was like, wow, it became a big hit. So, you know, we got to play there. We had a lot of fun every time we went there. It was a lot of fun.
Now, where are you originally from?
Well, I was born in Kansas.
Oh, okay.
But my parents were Puerto Rico, Jauco, and up in the mountains. My dad was a musician, you know, so.
Is that Pablo?
Pablo, yeah.
Yes.
And, you know, back in the day, he played with everybody back in the day in Puerto Rico. then he went in the Army, and he had 12 kids. And, I was born in Fort Riley, Kansas in 1958. Little boy, growing up and with a musical family. And my dad played in Puerto Rico at Fort Buchanan for years. And the general there kept him and a guy named Manso Rivera. He was a cuatro player, with the biggest guy in Puerto Rico that played that instrument. And they were in the Army together. They were compais. They were godfathers together. So my brother told me he used to go with my dad. He put the bass on the car, big bass, not the Ampeg bass, tie it up and go with my dad to the gigs and sit there with my dad and make sure he'd come home with him with the bass on the car. My brother Paul told me these stories. I'm like, wow. But it so happens, Fort Buchanan, the general said, I can't keep you here anymore. They're saying that you need to go out. So my dad had to, leave, and he went to Germany, Korea, Kentucky. We've traveled. Fort Dix. We were in Fort Dix.
That's
I
a great
remember.
market to play.
Yeah, So grew up with 11 brothers and sisters, 6 girls, 6 boys, 5 boys, and then I found out I had some other brothers that I didn't know about in Brooklyn. And we became family, and they came out to the jazz festival.
That's great
to see me. My brothers, one of them looks just like my dad. I said, "Oh yeah, you're definitely my brother." So, I grew up in a fun time. Willingboro, Kentucky. Fort Knox. But
all great music towns, and Is there a particular artist? I know I've heard you do All Day Music by War and all that. Is there any particular artist that really inspired you to want to do this?
Santana, definitely. War, all the stuff, the Ghetto, that
Some
song, Donny Hathaway. Valdez in the Country. These are songs that Squib Cakes, Tower of Power.
Oh, I love Tower of Power.
Great band. I listen to a lot of old style music back in the day. Motown. I love Motown. Motown had a lot of Latin influence in some of their songs. That's why I did Tears of a Clown. I had that Latin kind of thing in there. But most of the older stuff. I like some of the new stuff, but I'm more old school.
How about Bruno Mars?
I love Bruno Mars.
Good guy.
Yeah, Bruno Mars. He's got some nice stuff going. Yeah, he's to me, he's got that talent that you get on stage and I saw him in concert. He's got that explosive talent, just like Prince and Michael Jackson.
Absolutely.
These are people that they couldn't get up on stage and just sing.
Right, the performers, entertainers.
But Bruno,
much like yourself, an entertainer.
I try to do what I can do
your thing
and make people laugh. I bring him in, and I could tell the crowd. I'm like a quarterback. I might change things in the middle of the song and say, "All right, guys, come down, percussion," and just do a show kind of thing, and talk a little bit about what we did. And I like to do master classes where we can talk about the different instruments and stuff. Yeah.
So, what advice would you give to our youth? Talking about master classes, what advice would you give to them?
Practice, do music. Kids in high school, elementary school, mostly in high school and junior high school. Take something up. If it's not sports, music, art, it helps you keep off the streets. It helps you do something positive. It'll help you later in life of knowing what to do with yourself. Recording artist, arranger, entertainer, and be sure to see him live and support live music. And want to thank Edgardo Cintron for being part of the show here today. And of course, he's got a new solo CD, Bon Appetit, as well as doing things with his great band, Cintron. Be on the lookout for them. I'm Tim Marshall, and thank you for joining us for R&B Showcase.